Tonight on Mom's Talking Shit podcast, and we're talking about the latest episode of Teen Mom 2. It was the season finale. We got a lot of good stuff that happened. I want to start and jump right into Chelsea. So Chelsea is leaving the franchise. She dropped the bomb on tonight's episode, and she's getting ready to move on to bigger and better things, which I'm thrilled and excited for her. I think it's time. Wouldn't you say?
Time. It's definitely time because her storyline was getting very lagging. So I think she picked the best time to go.
I mean, you got to go out with a bang. She had a good time. The season's still up and running. We don't know how long the show's going to last. And I think more importantly, she made the best decision for her kids. I think that Aubrey's at the age where they're going to start discussing things that shouldn't be put out there in public. I think she made one of the best decisions of all the girls.
I agree.
I know. Good job. I cried. Did you cry at all?
No, you told me before I watched it.
I was watching the
She would cry. She was crying.
Crying for everything. I can't help it. But I was watching the montage of her when she was, first on 16 and pregnant and had Aubrey. And it was she went through so much. And speaking of, so I heard that one of the reasons why, or reminded, because now Teen Mom is on Netflix. And so everybody's having the opportunity to catch up on the old seasons. And it was reminded that Adam was really upset with Chelsea because she slept with his best friend, which I remembered. But then apparently she also slept with his brother. Did you know that? She slept with his best friend and his brother, supposedly. I have no idea if it's true. But that was brought up on one of the reunions, I guess with Dr. Drew.
Know, but he's trying to blame that on the reason why he was the way he was. I think he was just a fuck up.
Well, I think that he was completely shitty to Chelsea over all the years. Whatever happened to them happened, but his behavior towards Aubrey and his lack of showing up for Aubrey is unexcusable. I don't care if she fucked with his father. It's still your daughter.
You be there for the kids, damn it. Okay.
Exactly. So, that's it. Good luck, Chelsea. I'm so hoping that Chelsea and Cole come out with their own, I want like a home designer TV show and have the kids kind of pop up here and there. Not all the time.
You gonna watch it?
I would absolutely watch it. And one more thing, I wanted to mention that I think the episode before, she was saying that, it could have been this one, but she didn't feel comfortable getting her kids tested multiple times a week just to film the show. I thought that was an extremely responsible and motherly thing to do, to not have to put your kids through that multiple times a week
I agree.
Just to get your family paycheck.
I agree, because let me tell you something. Trying to swab a throat, and they're doing noses, trying to swab a throat when your kid, they flip out. My kid always flipped out in the doctor's office, so I can imagine having to do it several times a week.
Right. And then her kids are so tiny. And then let's move on over to Leah's girls, since we're talking about testing. Poor Allie and Aaliyah had to keep getting tested for the throat and the nose. And then they kept coming up with strep throat. Did you see that throughout the season? So they said that Allie ended up getting strep throat again, so she thought it would be best to pull out all the activities. And again, I don't want to criticize what any parent has done throughout this pandemic, because it's been a terribly hard choice to make for any parent, in my opinion. I mean, even up to today, we've been dealing it for a year, and I still feel like I'm doing the wrong decision. Trying my best, but I feel like it's wrong. The only thing that I didn't necessarily agree with was throughout the whole show, she kept saying the only reason why you have to stay home is because of your sister. But it's not just because of your sister, but it really is because of your sister. I feel like maybe when she spoke with them, she could have said that maybe it's just best and safer for all the girls to stay home if this is such a serious condition, because if you're still out there wearing your masks and you're getting strep throat twice, then maybe this is something that we should all stay home as a family and deal with together instead of just singling her out. You know what I mean? Because a lot of parents,
what you're saying.
A lot of parents right now, sorry, then I'll let you talk. A lot of parents right now don't even have a kid with a disability like Addie has. Is it Addie? Mm-hmm. I'm getting their names mixed up.
You got it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And still chose to keep their kids home. So maybe I just feel bad that it just does end up feeling like it is her fault at the end of the day when it's not. It's not.
I totally get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult thing. I feel like she talks to them, and she's pretty good with talking with them. She talks to them like she's a psychiatrist.
I agree.
She sits
I
them
really
down. She talks
agree.
to them like my shrink talks to me. Hi, Princess Allison Sweat 334. um, yeah, she just talks to them like really good. I think she's good with them.
I do.
But as far as I see what you're saying, like trying to single her out and say it's just for her. But you know what? When kids have strep throat, sometimes it just never goes away. Like meaning like you might have took a set of antibiotics like she just had it and then having it again like
Right.
might not have ever been gone. I went through that with my first kid. Like she ended up having to get her tonsils out. So I understood like, but to say, well, that we're not being safe enough or how easy it is to catch a germ, like I guess I see what she's saying, but in that case, it might not have caught any extra germs. It might just still been the same germ.
I
That's
know
what
what you mean. I
I'm
get
saying.
it. But I think too that when you have strep throat, you get it a couple of times.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Like it's not even like she went out and got two different
like
viruses going on, but
when my sister was younger, she got strep throat like kind of back to back, and I never got it once. And so she ended up having to get her tonsils taken out, and I never did. So I feel like strep throat, like you're mentioning, is one of those things.
yeah,
So,
definitely is.
but that was pretty much it. They were just basically showing how Leah was handling the pandemic with the kids, and I think she was doing a good job, overall. It's just, that one little thing. That's all. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue to go. Hopefully, everybody in the household stays healthy. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes. All
Okay,
right.
next, who do you want to talk about?
Kale.
Okay. I always breathe like, okay, okay. Before we get into that, I want to mention, because I've been bitching for like a month now, I ordered pothead hair care and I've had it before. And you and I, when we first started this video or first started this journey that we've been on in the beginning of the year in January with our podcast, we did a pothead hair care video where it was a TikTok, the one and only that I've ever done. And I loved the product. It was so good. And I wanted to show everybody really how good it is because my hair is like really frizzy and curly. And when I use it, it works. I'm not going to mention, but somebody dropped my bottle and broke like a lot of it. If you want to check out the YouTube video, you can check it out and find out who broke my bottle. But anyhow, I've been out of it for about a month. And I got my hair dyed by Kayla the Hair Wizard, and she dyed my hair blue. It's like a really light blue, can't tell unless it's in the sun. And so I kind of bleached my hair, and I have been dying for it. I ordered it December 5th, and it's still not here. It's December 28th, and I know that they said that you have like 20 to 25 days to expect arrival. But the only thing that I have is that a shipping label has been printed. And I keep checking my tracking number and I keep I feel like a crackhead checking my
Kale.
mailbox every day. And I'm like, is my hair care here? Is it here? And it's still not here. So I texted the number back today that texted me saying my order was confirmed. And I'm trying to give it like another week and then I'm going to email them. But her hair product is really good. We're not sponsors yet, but it's still not here. On the other hand, I did order Overtone, which is one of the advertisements that I see coming up on Instagram all the time, so you might see it now. But it's really good for colored hair, and Kayla recommended it for me, and I got it today. Was so excited, put it in my hair, and it worked great. Like it freshened my color. I
I
don't
can see
like
the
you can
blue.
see some blue. It's just hard in this light, but it freshened the color and it feels soft and it actually hydrated it. So I would recommend Overtone for sure. And I'm still anxiously waiting on pothead hair care.
Nice.
Now that that's been said, we could talk about how
Come on,
Kale is.
Kale. Send her the damn pothead hair care. All
Oh
right.
no! But now we could talk about how Kale's fucking up left and
That's
right,
your
and it's
girl.
really disappointing me.
That's your girl. Go ahead.
It, in my mind, she is. So, okay. Kale's still trying to come back from the fact that at the last episode, or one of the last episodes, she mentioned that Javi was trying to hook up with her in the Wawa parking lot, and she announced it to the world. So she's had all this time, and now she sees it coming, and she kind of, stepped on Lauren's heart by announcing that in front of everybody instead of kind of coming to her like a woman and being like, hey, this happened. And she's saying that in this episode. Like, I should have said something to her first. I shouldn't have caught her off guard. But here she is still saying, however, Javi's texting me saying, you're going to cover for me, right? And I have to let them handle it. I can't tell her what's really going on. I can't be truthful to her. So she's still hurting her on camera, saying, I know stuff. I'm
I
not going
can't
to
say
tell
nothing.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I know things, but I can't tell you. And I'm so sorry that you're hurt. And it's really pissing me off because I root for Kale all the time, and she's just not handling this right.
I completely agree. She totally, even this episode, this season finale made it look worse than that last one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Javi has a shot
I don't.
to get back with Lauren now.
I think he still does because I think she still would get back with him, which I can't stand that. I mean, I do because I want to see families work out, and I know that when you're working with blended households, it's not easy. Oop, what's going on? It's not easy, and I know that there's some confusion, and you want to see them work. But as many times as Javi has been distasteful to her and like banging a chick in your bathroom while she's upstairs, his track record is looking horrible. And it makes me feel sad for Lauren. And I usually don't feel that bad for her, but right now I do. So,
Yeah, I feel really bad for her.
okay.
But I think he's a dog. I think that's over with. But she
Yeah, and
totally made him look worse, where she didn't want to ever talk about it again on camera. She kind of put the nail in the coffin at the end to me.
well, to this day, I was listening to her podcast and she's still talking about Javi. And she said, I know I promised that I can't talk about him, but he's part of my life and it's so hard not to talk about, which I get, but she's still talking about him. And I think that he sold his gym. Not sure why, not sure if it was for a profit. I don't know if he was losing money. I didn't get a chance to look into anything about that. I know a lot of gyms have to be closed right now because of the pandemic, but I don't know why he sold it, but it's
Oh
gone.
no.
And there was speculation that he might have sold it to Lauren, but and then I heard people kind of put a nail in that coffin saying no, he didn't do that. So
I heard he sold. I heard there was like speculation too of him was getting it in with side pieces at the gym.
well, we know that he even did it in his own house. Oh,
That's
anyhow.
messy.
All right, well,
All
keep
right.
going. Who's next? Oh, let's talk about Jade. Jade and Sean. Jade and Sean. So I guess Sean got mad. Okay. So according to Sean, he was out. Do you want to go over it? Because I keep talking.
No, I like yours. Go.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. So Sean was saying that Jade said that he didn't hang out with his friends enough. So he went to go hang out with his friends for the night. And he came home later than expected. And when he came home, she wanted him to take a drug test. And he said he wasn't going to because he had no problem passing the drug test, but he feels like she's always throwing drug tests at him. So
Guilty.
therefore, okay. So therefore, he was not.
Stalling. He
He
was
was not going to take
stalling.
it.
He was stalling.
He's like,
He
I
was
need 48
stalling.
hours.
Sorry. Yeah.
So he wouldn't take the test. And then he got angry and ended
Mm.
up busting out a window through their house. And so she's like, this is not only where I live, but your daughter lives here. You live here, even though you're not here at the moment. And you just busted out her window. And
I
she's
was only
pissed.
knocking on it.
I know.
Bro.
That's his story. It's like, I didn't mean to break the window.
And I could have passed the drug test, but I didn't want to take it because she got power over me.
Yeah. But
See, he was high.
why is she always throwing a drug test at him but never at her parents? And she's always throwing Chloe at her parents. Like, here, take Chloe, but doesn't do the same with him. So now
Agreed.
he tried to come back again later on that night with a rose in a glass jar.
Isn't that like a crack thing?
It might be.
Like a crack pipe stem rose or something? I heard. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, I don't know. But I heard like a little crack thing from the gas station. I don't know.
I'm not sure
Do you
either.
think that
But
he had left over and was like, "Here's the rose from it"?
does it come in with a crack pipe in the glass?
No, I think it's some crazy shit I heard before that like You ever seen those little glass things in the gas station that crackheads smoke out of them?
Yeah,
They're like roses or something.
I know.
Like, yeah, but they're little. That's what I
Okay.
envisioned when she said it. When she was like the plastic glass, and I was
I'm
like,
like,
did
I
he
think I
smoke
know, but
crack out of
now
it first and then bring it over? But I might be
maybe he was
wrong
trying to
because I
tell
don't
her
know about
something.
crack.
Okay.
I know about
Crack
cannabis.
is whack. All right. So
But I'm just saying what I heard.
Whitney Houston, R.I.P. Um,
R.I.P. Whitney.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically what's going on with them. She said she's not taking him back. I checked her Instagram. I don't see any pictures of him on there. Do you know if they're together? Like, I thought that they were, just in general, but I don't see any evidence of them being together yet.
No, if they are, they're hiding it.
Okay.
I haven't seen any evidence of it. I think she'll take him back again, though. I don't feel like
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah. All right.
Her friends
Well,
don't think that way either.
so who do we have next? Did we do them all?
Hey,
Did we go
what's
through
up,
all of
guys?
the?
Thanks for joining us. Huh?
Yes, thanks, guys. So who else? Who are we missing?
I
Maybe
don't know, but
Cam.
Janelle was like had an awesome year on TikTok. If you want to talk about Theme on
I
2 recap wrap up, she had an
I do. I
awesome
would like
TikTok
to
year.
tell us about
Oh,
it.
Brianna.
Ah, there you go.
So okay,
Well,
so she
wait.
put her number out to the
Finish
world.
with finish with Janelle first.
All I had to say was she had good TikToks. You knew more about
Hmm.
Janelle?
Now. Oh,
She had good. That's all I knew. What else you
her
got?
husband finally shaved his head off. I mean, his hair off, the
I wish it
mullet.
was his head.
So now it's just a beard. So in her latest TikTok video, which is also on her Instagram, everybody posted it though. Um, he shaved his hair, so that's about it, I think.
Ew.
All right. And
I,
then next, so Brianna. So Brianna's claiming that she doesn't have any money. However, she was able to run out an entire circus for her small little family and I guess a friend and her kid. And then during the circus event, Devon started texting her. They were arguing, and he publicly put out her phone number. So then, within a matter of minutes, she had like 300 messages. What a way to ruin the night of the circus for your kids. So she gets upset and it starts blowing up. We're going to get into that in a second. But first, she did end up coming on Instagram later on and saying, you think that I have a lot of money? I don't. I had tickets. It was all canceled, and MTV arranged for them just to do a single show. And that's why.
I
So
believe
even though
that.
I really do believe that too, because you usually have to get permission to film before you go in. And I bet you that circus was like hoping for any kind of money it can get at that point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. So basically,
But shit,
he's,
nowadays you can, excuse me, my language,
yeah,
you
go
can rent
ahead.
the whole movie theater for $100
Mm,
because nobody's using it. Okay.
yeah. No, I mean, that's really it. So now it's basically going back and forth that Devon is trying to say that MTV put out texts that never really happened and then starts putting out these other texts and going back and forth. But in my opinion, at the end of the and Brianna's getting a lot of slack because they're like, you give Devon so much a hard time, but what about what's his name? What's her other baby dad? Lewis.
Lewis.
What about Lewis? What about Lewis? What about Lewis? That still doesn't negate the fact that Devon's not being there enough for Nova. I mean, end of story. Both trash.
Devon, I feel like definitely needs to pay his way. He definitely needs to do his part. I feel like he does the minimum and thinks that it's enough. But putting her phone number out there, that's messed up.
I was gonna say that's it. Doing the minimum and thinking that it's enough. That is not enough. What he's doing is not enough. She is 9 years old and he's not 16 years old. Do you know
Britt
what I
was
mean?
like,
It's
"You ain't coming back in here." He was like, "You
it,
ain't coming back in this house."
my
He
favorite.
talked about all of us, like,
I
and I
love
feel
her to
like all of
pieces.
us have been taking care of his fucking, of his kid, and that's so true. Like,
nine
we should
years.
respect them.
He is not, again, some teenager. He's a grown ass man at this point. So do what you got to do. Figure it out. Work on your schedule. Work on your money. If your job's not working, I get that we're dealing with a pandemic, but you know what? Maybe Bonefish isn't the place you need to be right now. You know what I mean?
Do you think that he'll
Like
see this? Do you think he'll see it air when
us.
Nova was just like, he does need a
Mm,
reality check, right? Both of them. Do you think that he'll see it
I
air
agree.
when Nova said that she didn't feel comfortable staying the night at his house?
He'll probably just blame it on Brianna.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He did, but like when he sees it air, when she was kind of like, I don't want to be over there. I mean, you could tell it wasn't put on by Brianna.
What's
He didn't feel
and like,
comfortable. I think she said his roommate smokes weed. They kind of just like bypassed that.
yeah,
But the situation was that she wanted her to be with him more, but that he was doing it late. And then that she didn't want to spend the night. She didn't feel comfortable. So instead of saying, well, she don't feel comfortable with you, she just had to change it up, I guess.
right, right.
Hell to the no.
I know. I mean, I agree though. Again, not a teenager anymore. He needs to get his shit together. So Brianna can get any kind of heat, can say whatever they want from anybody, but I'm Team Brianna on this one. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
it.
there's
He's
the way
grown.
he handled it was really immature. He didn't have to take it out like that. I mean, I
Right.
understand that they probably put on a lot of stuff with MTV, setting up things. I'm sure
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, I'm sure too.
But then you put her phone number out there, like that's fucked up. Do you
And
think
then
that
the
he
other,
meant to, or do you think that he didn't? He didn't exit out when he shared it, and it was like, oh shit.
I kind of think that's probably what happened. He's been putting out so many of his text messages lately. I'm sure one can slip. Do you know what I mean? He was like, I meant to black out her number, but I was high.
Right, right. You know, as hell talking about Brianna, but she handles her business. She does exactly. She
She takes care
works
of her kids.
and she takes care of them children and them deadbeat dads. She makes up for it, thankfully.
Those are bad decisions on her end, though. I can't stand that.
Everybody
Mm.
makes bad decisions and bad decisions in life. Lord, yes.
No, but the fact that she went and slept with Lewis that one time in the club, that's really hard for me to go back on her.
You
Do
can't
you
get
know what I
over
mean?
it.
Like
It
the
was Lewis
last
in the
time when
club
she...
for me.
Yes,
I feel like
it
that
was.
too, man. But I still, as far as the mom thing, I do think she's a good mom.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And let's go back to the family because we have to mention that our favorite person, Brittany, who we would love to have on the show one day, I'd be nervous to talk to. I'd be like, Brittany?
Her
Okay.
shirt. What are you talking about? Her shirt.
Her shirt. She had her, if anybody noticed, and if you didn't notice, it's worth going back and looking at. But she's got a picture of herself on the front of her shirt with a bikini on, looking all good. Well, I
It
don't know if
says
it's a bikini,
Playboy,
bathing
and
suit.
I had to think. I was like, is that? She looked good.
She
Yeah,
did because she
herself
was
on her
coming up
shirt.
out of the water in her bathing suit. Yeah, it was a good picture. So that, and then
I live
now
for her. I live for
I
her.
do too. Everything that she said, and it's so funny. She's got the best one-liners. I would say that most people say Kourtney Kardashian has the best one-liners, but I would give it to Brittany in a heartbeat. you know?
I
Okay.
agree.
So then last, Brianna's mother. Yeah, I was like getting Brittany and Brianna's mother. Gonna mention it. Apparently, she put out, or MTV bleeped when she was bitching about Devon, and they're trying to say that she said the N word when she was talking about Devon. So everybody's kind of going off back and forth. I haven't been on Instagram lately to see what people's latest thoughts are. I don't know what she said. It kind of looked like she said it. Did you watch it?
I think she said it.
I think she said it. But I also wanted to mention that coming from a Puerto Rican
Because when
background,
she said it, I feel like Brianna's eyes got a little bigger, but kind of was like, oh shit. But not. Like if you watch the scene again, it was kind of.
I'd have to watch it again to check the eyes. But like I said, coming from a Puerto Rican background of myself, it's kind of normal to hear that stuff coming out of Hispanics' mouths. I don't really say it, but I kind of hear it just in general. You hear it in the music, like in the R&B singers, the rap singers, and all of the pop stars that are of the Latino or Hispanic community say it all the time. So I don't really know where this uproar is going to go with it, but I guess we'll wait and see.
I
I don't
guess
think
we
they're going to
will.
get canceled. I think they're trying to cancel her, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's it. Okay.
Well,
Anything
thanks
else?
for joining us, guys. What do you think? Like, if you
And
want to
is there
check
any
me,
other teen mom gossip going on out there that we didn't mention? Anybody about teen mom
hit us
that?
up. Let us know. We want to know about all the little gossip. And
Mm-hmm.
thanks for listening to our recap.
Right. And then I don't know if we mentioned at this beginning of the video, but we're on Instagram Live and we're going to take this and put it to our podcast audio. So for our podcast listeners, we'll also have the video available if you want to see us talk about it as well.
That's all I got for this evening.
Okay, that's about it. Don't forget to check us out at our website, momstalkingshit.com. You guys have a great night, and we're going to tune in to Teen Mom OG. That's coming out and coming up
Oh
next.
man,
I'm ready.
Amber. Can't wait.
I'm I'm ready to see Amber. I don't think she's going to move into Gary's house. You know what I do really want to see
On
though?
his lawn. I want to know if she's still with that guy. I haven't seen anything about it.
I haven't, but I feel like they still are. I wonder if they're following each other. Do you want to? Do you have? I want to check. We'll have to check to see if they're still following each other. Because if they are, then they're probably still together. Um, but I don't think she'll move in there. But what I really, really, really want to see is Christina and Gary with their own cooking show,
That'd be
like farm life, home on the land. Because they have a big, beautiful farm, and Gary's always out there working hard. Isn't he a police officer too?
oh, I
Do you
don't
know
know.
that?
Is he?
I thought he was training to be one time at a moment, but I don't know if that actually happened. But I'd love to see how they take the food from the farm to the table and how they cook and prepare it because I don't know if you've seen their Instagram stories,
Yeah, I've seen
but
him.
their food looks so good. I
It
want
does.
them to cook for me.
It does. They're real cute.
Yep. So, okay.
All
And then I
right.
don't think, let's see. What do you think? Do you think Macy's going to end up leaving soon, or do you think she's going to stick it out? Now that Chelsea's left, Kale is saying that she's trying really hard to leave soon. Who else do you think's going? Who do you think's going to be the next teen mom to leave?
Kale,
You think Kale?
because it seems like she's lining up for other work. And she's got
She's
her
got
2
a.
podcasts. She's got her hair care line. Like they're getting all their ducks in a row because like Chelsea, that's all she's known since she was 17. So now she's going to be stepping out, making money without MTV. I would be nervous too.
I
But I
would be
think Kale will
nervous.
be next. It seems like she's setting it up. Or maybe Macy.
I feel like it's going to be Macy because Macy just doesn't have the drama except talking about Brian being on drugs, and that's not good for Bentley.
But I think he still is. So they got another season to talk about that.
No, but I know, but I'm just saying, I feel like she's going to make that parent decision saying, I no longer want my kid's life on TV.
Yeah. Maybe.
So we'll see. Okay. All right. Well, y'all have a great night. And thank you guys so much for checking out our Instagram Live.
See ya.
Bye.
Welcome to Mom's Talking Podcast. It's Stacy. It's Tony.